This Family Life News podcast is made possible by the support of listeners like you.
Pornography is more available today than ever, and more violent. A significant reason many parents look to limit their children's access to the internet is because they want to limit childhood access to porn. Now, we may be aware of internet porn, but we may not know that it's not just our sons, nephews, and grandsons we should be concerned about. Porn is dangerous for girls, too. Welcome to Family Life's Inside Out. I'm Martha Manikas Foster. My guest today is Kristen Jenson, who has long been studying the impact of pornography. Among her many titles is that she is the founder of Defend Young Minds. Her newest book is a read-aloud for girls, The Good Pictures, Bad Pictures Guide for Girls, How I Stay Safe, Smart, and Confident. Welcome, Kristen, to Inside Out.
Thank you, Martha. It's true. The porn industry is predatory, and it's targeting our girls, too.
Yeah, I'm glad we're going to be getting into this. Glad and not glad that it even exists. But yes, you've been writing on this topic for quite some time. In fact, your previous books on this topic have sold almost 400,000 copies just since 2014. For people who've not heard much about pornography as it appears today, talk to us about the content of pornography and how what a person can see with a couple of clicks on their phones compares to what they may have seen or heard about that appeared in Playboy magazine, for instance, in the 1960s. Pornographers actually bait children. They depend on a child's natural curiosity. So there's that issue, too, of being lured in, as well as the relative ease of access to pornography.
Absolutely. You know, we're talking about the AAA threat of porn. It's accessible, anonymous, and affordable in today's world. You know, with smartphones and tablets and the internet everywhere. It's accessible on social media, in books, podcasts, fan fiction sites, YouTube, streaming services, and on and on and on. And kids can get to it with a few clicks or taps on a screen. And it's anonymous because it's easy to access from the privacy of a girl's bedroom if she has a smartphone or an iPad. And it's affordable because nowadays you really don't have to buy it. It's on a different kind of business model with ads, kind of like a YouTube model. And it's usually free to the viewer. But we can add one more A to this, and that it's addicting. Okay. And addictions always escalate, and that's one reason why porn has become increasingly extreme and violent towards women. This is so different than what was available, you know, in the magazines of yesteryear, because today's porn, rape porn, gang rape portrayals, child sexual abuse material, deviant, degrading sexual violence is common in today's porn. And it's implanting toxic sexual scripts into the minds of both boys and girls. So, you know, those centerfolds of Playboy, you know, they're quaint by today's standards. Those photos are called nudes and aren't even considered pornography by kids these days.
You've mentioned girls. It is our topic today. So Kristen, girls and women, it's not new that they're hurt by pornography, if no other reason that it influences those, the men and the women, the girls and the boys who see it, to view women as objects. It sets a false image of what it means to be a woman, what it means to be attractive, and so it hurts women as well as men. So what do you think most parents today don't realize about the impact of porn on girls and women?
Well, Martha, I think that one of the things they don't realize is that exposure to porn starts earlier than most parents think. They often see porn in elementary school. I will say that every school bus in America is a XXX theater because kids have these devices and they share. So parents may not be aware that porn can often be a girl's first introduction to sex, especially if they haven't started those conversations earlier. But it's not just through videos. Porn is now prevalent in cartoon form and in young adult books and can be found in their school library and on the shelves at Target.
When you say in the school library, talk to me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, graphic novels that include graphic sex acts are in school libraries. And some parents that find these, they get up in arms. And I don't blame them. So you've got to kind of watch out because even on databases, school databases, kids can get into pornography.
Okay.
So it's difficult to stop the flow. It is coming at them from so many places. And, most parents don't think their girls will be interested in consuming pornography, right? But girls are curious. They are. They come to see porn as the way to learn how to be attractive. But as you said, in porn, women are treated as objects. It's normalized that men hurt women during sex. Mm-hmm. In fact, female porn performers fake pleasure when they actually feel extreme pain. Mm-hmm. So, Martha, that portrayal of inhumane objectification and violence sets up, girls for lifelong struggles with lower self-esteem, poor mental health, and it can also affect their ability to enjoy a trusting and sexually intimate marriage. Mm-hmm. There's a few more things that parents may not realize, and that is, we often think of porn as a boy problem, but even if boys are more likely to view pornography regularly, girls often carry a heavier share of the social and psychological consequences. It's because it's so violent to girls, it's sexually traumatizing. Mm-hmm. But studies also show that girls who view porn become sexually active earlier and engage in riskier sexual practices. Mm-hmm. But just to wrap that up, I think the most important thing for parents to remember is that when girls view or read pornography, not only can they become addicted to it, they can become more accepting of sexual violence against themselves.
Right, right.
They begin to see themselves as sexual objects.
Right.
And that sexual violence is normal and expected.
Yeah.
In my book, the mom uses a soccer ball to explain that kicking a ball won't hurt it, but kicking a person will hurt them physically and emotionally. And when we see others as objects, it's easier to treat them badly, which is, exactly what porn shows girls. Mm-hmm.
So, Kristen, you've written a great deal about this, including what you call the can-do plan. So, as we're looking for those of us listening, what at least a first step can be, can you talk to us about the first step?
I teach parents that children need three things. And the first is a simple, age-appropriate definition of pornography so they can recognize it. Mm-hmm. Second is a warning so they know exactly why it's harmful to them. And then third is this can-do plan, right, which helps children not only know what to do in the moment when they are exposed to pornography, but what to do when those shocking, toxic memories come popping back up in their mind, how to neutralize those memories and really free their brain from thinking about that all the time. Mm-hmm. So we need to teach girls a definition, a warning, and then that plan. And the plan is great because it helps kids know what to do the moment they're exposed. And the first step would be, close their eyes, right? Turn away from it. Every moment that you look at it is making that memory, deeper and deeper into their brain. Mm-hmm. And then they need to be able to report it, to name it, right? Mm-hmm. And so we have the three steps of the can-do plan. And then the do part is really all about what do you do when those memories come back? How do you retrain your brain to think about something else? Mm-hmm. And all of that is described in the Good Pictures, Bad Pictures book.
Yes, and this newest one is aimed at girls. An instructive book to help walk through all of this, including, like you said right away, giving a definition and going from there.
Yeah, because this is for girls, I included an entire chapter in my new book to help girls understand what objectification is and to recognize the harm that it does and to know that rejecting pornography, will shield her from those damaging and toxic messages, because no girl deserves to face the porn industry alone. And we really can't protect our girls by leaving them out of the conversation.
That's quite the wisdom. So, Kristen, if you are hopeful, what makes you hopeful?
Well, what makes me hopeful is, first of all the parents and therapists and people that encourage me to write my new Good Pictures, Bad Pictures Guide for Girls. But I'm also hopeful because I know we can make protective conversations comfortable for parents while helping girls reject objectification, helping them avoid addiction, and helping them build, a healthy body image for life. I feel hope when I hear stories of both boys and girls rejecting pornography and avoiding lifelong harms, including sexual abuse, because their parents have read them Good Pictures, Bad Pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I feel hope because the silent shame is beginning to lift. And many women, like you, are shining a light on the dark problem of pornography. And that light is really very empowering for girls.
Mm. Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for your book. And thank you, Kristen, for joining me here today on Family Life's Inside Out.
Thank you for having me, Martha. I know this is a heavy topic, but I'm grateful we can talk about it in a way that gives parents practical tools and hope.
I agree. My guest today on Inside Out has been Kristen Jenson, founder of Defend Young Minds. Her newest book is titled Good Pictures, Bad Pictures Guide for Girls, How I Stay Safe, Smart, and Confident. I'm Martha Manikas Foster with Inside Out on Family Life.
Thank you for listening to this Family Life News podcast. If you've been encouraged by what you've heard, please share it with others and click the subscribe button to automatically receive future episodes. Family Life is a listener-supported ministry. Podcasts like this are made possible by your financial partnership. Find out more at familylife.org.